Somewhere along the way, we started believing that freedom was measured by how many options we had. Supermarket aisles stacked with 200 types of cereal. Streaming platforms offering endless entertainment. Swiping left or right through hundreds of faces, each one a possible connection or a missed opportunity. We built a culture that equated abundance with happiness. But beneath the surface, something strange happened. More began to feel like less. Satisfaction became harder to find. And freedom, paradoxically, started to feel like a trap. This is the heart of the paradox of choice, that too many options, rather than liberating us, often paralyze us. What seems like a gift can quietly become a burden. At first glance, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't more options be better? Isn't choice the foundation of autonomy? In theory, yes. But in practice, the human mind doesn't always cope well with overload. Every decision we make draws on mental energy. Every possibility we consider introduces the risk of regret. Every option we reject becomes a tiny shadow, lingering with "what if?" When you're given 3 options, you weigh your preferences, make a choice, and move on. But when you're given 30, the pressure escalates. You're no longer just choosing what feels right, you're trying to make the best decision. You're trying to maximize. And in that attempt, perfection becomes the goal, which almost guarantees disappointment. The mind races through hypotheticals. What if I chose wrong? What if there's a better fit? What if I'll regret this tomorrow? In this state, satisfaction becomes fragile. Even if you make a good choice, the awareness of everything you didn't pick erodes your contentment. You become haunted by alternatives. It's not just about what you gained, it's also about what you lost. And that loss, though invisible, often hits harder than you expect. Psychologist Barry Schwartz, who popularized the term paradox of choice, argued that too many options don't just affect our decisions, they shape our identity. In a world of infinite customization, we're constantly curating ourselves. Every choice becomes a statement. What you wear, what you listen to, who you date, what you post, it all becomes performance. And in this climate, choosing is no longer neutral. It's loaded. It says something about who you are. So the stakes are high. And the fear of choosing wrong isn't just about the outcome, it's about the self. Choice anxiety doesn't just belong to privileged consumers or overstimulated millennials. It's a structural part of modern life. We've been told that more is always better, and in response, we've created systems that reflect that belief. Job markets flood us with options, yet commitment feels impossible. Dating apps offer access to more people than we could ever meet in person, yet loneliness increases. Even in mental health, the sheer number of therapeutic approaches can leave people unsure of where to start, or who to trust. Behind all this is a deeper truth: choice is emotional. It's not just a logical process, it's a vulnerable one. To choose is to commit. To commit is to risk. And to risk is to step into the unknown. In a world obsessed with control, this can feel unbearable. So we delay. We overthink. We research endlessly. We ask for second opinions. We scroll for hours. We chase certainty like it's a thing that can be bought or guaranteed. But the truth is, no choice comes with certainty. And waiting for it will only keep you stuck. There's also a kind of spiritual exhaustion that comes from constant comparison. When everything is presented as customizable, optimized, and improved upon, we start to feel that our lives should be perfect. Every decision becomes a reflection of our worth. If you're unhappy, it's not because the system is flawed, it's because you didn't choose right. That belief is toxic. It makes suffering feel like a personal failure. It erases the complexity of real life and replaces it with a shallow algorithm of personal responsibility. The result? Paralysis. Or worse, shame. Not just for choosing wrong, but for not choosing at all. But what's the way out? Strangely, it starts with limits. With accepting that more isn't always better. That having fewer options can bring more peace. Simplicity isn't a compromise, it's a clarity. You don't need to find the perfect job, the ideal partner, the ultimate path. You need to find what matters enough to choose. What feels real? What allows you to show up, fully, without apology? Satisfaction grows not from having everything, but from caring deeply about the few things that matter. From understanding that every yes is also 1,000 no's, and being okay with that. We need to move from maximizing to meaning. From endless options to intentional ones. From chasing perfection to choosing presence. This isn't a rejection of freedom. It's a reclamation of it. True freedom isn't found in the aisles of infinite options. It's found in the quiet confidence of knowing what you want, choosing it, and letting go of the rest. It's not about getting it all right. It's about being at peace with what you choose, and not letting the ghost of what could have been steal the joy of what is.